and take a seat. Conversations that can't be beat. Music and movies to name a few. Sports and drinks and tiramisu. This is a podcast for everyone. Time to chat and have some fun. Shawk Tawk, Shawk Tawk. Shawk Tawk, Shawk Tawk, Shawk Tawk. Shawk Tawk.
And welcome in, guys. Happy Tuesday. We are back for another episode of Shawk Tawk. I feel like I'm on Rogue Actions when I start this all the time. I'm like, and happy Friday. Like, what? Even it's not. I got to stop doing that. But guys, welcome in, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy whatever day it might be for you out there. We've got a great episode of Shawk Tawk here. We are going to be talking lots of different great stuff. We're going to be getting into March Madness. Talking some great things in terms of Wisconsin, some Disney-related questions and discussions, and then last but not least, we got some Final Fantasy as well that we're going to be talking about, guys, because we have the bestest of the best. He's the best Wisconsin streamer I've ever known. I love his accent. I can't get enough of it, guys. We got the THZ, the Horizon, in the house tonight. Welcome in, Horizon. How's it going, sir?
Oh, how you doing there? Good to see you there, Shaka. Always nice to be a part of your stream. Thank you for having me.
I love it. It's like my brother Jebediah accent. It's so over the top. It's not even funny. Horizon. So I've known you for a long time, man. But for any of the audience out there that is not familiar, that doesn't know anything about you, give them a little bit of a background on you, sir. What do you do? Why should they watch you? What's stuff that you like to do, man?
I'm extremely handsome. It's about the best thing I got going for me. Dashing is what some people might call it. Dashing. Han Solo-esque.
Yeah.
For the Star Wars fans out there.
I can't believe that they hired Aaron Eichenreicher, whatever his name is, instead of you. That's such a ripoff.
It was a scheduling conflict.
Is that what it was?
I was supposed to do it, and I had something that came up, and I just couldn't do it, unfortunately. Yeah, but yeah, they wanted young Han.
Yeah, that sucks.
What's
man.
up, Sweetie? What's going on, Kenny? Ray Rock, good to see you guys. I'm happy to be here. Do you really want to hear much about me? There's not much to say. I born and bred Wisconsin, Star Wars enthusiast. I do a little bit of streaming as well as my own. Dabbling in primarily in Galaxy Heroes, but doing some variety streaming outside of that as well too. I'm proud girl dad. I got two little girls. One that's 11 going on 17. My youngest is 5. She actually came down. Shaka got to see her. We were chatting before the stream got going. She came down to say hi. So yeah, I got 11 and 5. And I'm surrounded by women, guys, which you think sounds awesome.
I grew up in a house full of women, man. There are some definite downsides.
Yeah, there's some downsides right there. The funny thing is so surrounded by women, and Mrs. Horizon actually talked me into getting the dog that we currently have, and as he was supposed to get a manly dog. He's not really that manly. He's kind of a bitch. So yeah, it's just like, really, this is great. So I got 2 daughters. I got a wife. We got a cat that's a girl, and we got a dog that's not really that manly. So yeah, I come down here in this area, in this region, to feel a little bit more like a man. So Shaka, do what you can, man.
I like it, man. Well, it looks great. You look great, and we're gonna talk some great stuff today with an amazing Wisconsin accent. I can't get enough of it, guys. With that being said,
hold on. Before you,
yeah,
it's not an accent. This is how God intended everyone to sound. All right, everybody else has got an accent. This is the way it's supposed to be done.
I love it. Before we get started, guys, just a heads up: if any of you are listening only, or if you're listening to this after the recording, We are recording over on Twitch, so you heard Horizon shouting out like Sweens and Big Deal and all those guys. We are doing this live, so if you hear us occasionally reference people in chat, it's because we do we do record this live over on Twitch. If you ever would like to join us for a live recording of it, make sure you guys check us out over here on Twitch. All right. With that being said, Horizon, let's get into our first topic here, which is none other than
Spread on Sports.
So this worked out really well. I mentioned this before stream with Horizon. I wanted to talk March Madness a little bit because I know that you are a big March Madness fan, and it works out beautifully that this is the week before March Madness starts. So if we'd done this next Tuesday, it would have been the day of it starting. Probably wouldn't have worked as well. So this kind of worked out beautifully that it's literally the week before Selection Sunday and the actual start of the tournament. So that's awesome. Horizon, before I get into the question of what we're talking about here with the Spread on Sports, can you tell the people why you are such a big March Madness fanatic?
Man, I hadn't really thought about it. I've always been. I shouldn't say always. I got into college basketball when I started going to college. So I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I guess it would have been my sophomore year of college. And when I say we, I mean my buddy Ben and my buddy Bill, who I am still talk to semi regularly. We slept out in front of the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin, for season tickets to see the Badgers. And this was, and I think they've changed it in recent years, but back in the day, when I say slept out, I mean slept out. So basically, you lined up in front of the Kohl Center, and you had to have somebody in line at all times leading up to the release of the tickets for the season. And we slept out there as the three of us for, I think it was 6 days and nights.
Oh my goodness.
Total. So between the three of us. And at the time, so that was my sophomore year of college. I was going to school, but I was also working. So I was school full time and I was working full time. And and so I usually had to pull the night duty. So I slept outside most of the nights leading up to it, which essentially I finished work around 10 o'clock, I think it was. And I had the same kind of regular routine as I went and I picked up Taco Bell and a thermos of hot chocolate and some Tylenol PM. And I would go to relieve whoever was in line, and it was, all right, you're done, you're out. And I would eat the Taco Bell, which was like, well, and like as an adult, I go, that's a terrible idea because you're gonna have to use the bathroom in like 30
when you're
minutes.
that age, though.
But yeah, as a sophomore in college, you could handle it. Yeah. And then you would take the Tylenol PM to fall asleep, and hopefully you would stay asleep throughout the night, because if you woke up in the middle of the night, and this was like September-ish, so late September, early October is when you would have been doing this. So I mean, at the night's temperatures were dropping into the teens and stuff like that. They had weird city ordinances where you couldn't have tents, so it sucked. At any rate, that's where my love of college basketball started.
Nice. And you did, correct me if I'm wrong, you did a big fundraiser last year for that, correct?
We did. Yep. Nope. And so, and I guess, and to parlay that, so my old man and I started a tradition like probably about 5 years ago, I think it was. He had retired and he wasn't working anymore. And so we had started a tradition where he would come down for the first 2 days, 2+ days, to see what it was, days of the NCAA tournament. And I took off work, and we would basically just sit and hang out and drink a lot of beer and eat a lot of cheese, because we're Wisconsinites, and just enjoy the tournament. And it was a lot of fun. And unfortunately, my dad passed away years ago. This will be the second tournament that he hasn't been around for. But yeah, so last year we did a massive stream, 2-day on Thursday and Friday, the first two days of the tournament, right. Raising money for the Lustgarten Pancreatic Cancer Research Center, and it was super successful, and it was a lot of fun, and it was pretty awesome, and it made I was really kind of ruining the tournament because it was like, God, I don't want to do this because
Uh-huh.
my dad's not here.
Yep.
And this community really made it a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and it was amazing response, and it was great. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out because I thought that was such a cool thing that you did. And anybody that is out there and likes March Madness at all and wants to watch at a great venue and hang out with some amazing people, you guys absolutely should hang out with Horizon for some March Madness stuff, guys. He's awesome dude, loves the game, and obviously great reasoning behind what he does and why he does it. So, all right,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm a little behind. I'm a little behind the game right now. Things IRL stuff has gotten a little crazy. I'm a little behind planning and all that stuff. But the thought is still to be live next Thursday and Friday.
Oh, nice.
We'll be doing a bracket as well too, with 50% of the proceeds going to cancer research to hopefully trying to crack the nut, man. I mean, not to bring things down, but for whatever reason, pancreatic cancer seems to be one of those cancers that they can't quite figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get diagnosed with it, it's usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
A lot of the other cancers they've kind of figured out, but yeah, trying to provide a little bit there. So
Yeah. But yeah, guys, make sure you check it out. Like I said, I wanted to point that out for anybody that's a March Madness fan and wants to support the fight against cancer, guys. A great cause there over at Horizon's channel. We'll talk more about that at the end of the podcast here. But so our question here with sports today, guys, March Madness. So with the new integration of NIL deals that we've got going on, obviously they're very big in football right now, but they're also a major thing here in basketball as well. Horizon, do you think that because of NIL deals, do you think we're going to see as many like Cinderella stories as we have in the past? Do you think we're going to see as many upsets as we have in the past in the tournament?
I don't think the NIL is going to affect that.
Really?
I really don't. Nope, I don't. The NIL to me is very interesting
Hmm.
because how do I want to word this? I understand. You look at some of, especially when you look at the powerhouse universities. So you're talking, what? Just because we're talking about March Madness with basketball, so you're talking like the Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Kansas
Mhm.
organizations, stuff like that. You got organizations that are making a buttload of money
Yeah.
off of the sport and off of ticket sales and off of TV deals and everything like that. But the and so I understand the frustration for the college athletes when it comes to that, as you see, you're basically being used as a pawn in a lot of sense, but you're getting the education, you're getting the ride.
Right.
You're that's kind of your payment, in my opinion, is
Mhm.
what you're seeing. Um, the NIL stuff, and I don't really know. I forget where it was. It was somewhere down in Louisiana, I think it was, where there was a guy who raised some controversy because he played in the NBA, like G League or something like that.
Mhm.
But then he dropped out and he re-enrolled in school, and he's like 27 years old or something like that. And he's back playing college basketball, and you could do that under the portal rules. And I know it's apples and oranges, your NIL and portal, but
Right.
kind of the same thing. But yeah, I don't expect to see any effect on the number of upsets that you're
Interesting.
going to see. I think it's going to be about the same.
So you still think like the big names are ultimately still going to get the wins across the board like they traditionally have?
I do. I think you would put it under there. Let's see, like over or under 4.5 upsets.
Mhm.
I actually think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be under, which makes me a little
Hmm.
sad. Because
Which
I mean, let's be honest. That's why you watch March Madness,
yeah.
is for the upsets. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be under that overall
Hmm.
4.5. I said I think it's gonna be under for that first opening weekend.
See, now that's different than what I would expect. So I would argue that the NIL deals cancel out a lot of the parity essentially because the bigger schools, the bigger programs are going to give out more money. They're going to get the higher rated players. I know that they have in the past, but even some of these diamonds in the rough are going to ultimately go where they get paid. And so it's, in my opinion, far less likely to find like a Gonzaga, for instance, where, and I know they're not necessarily a Cinderella story anymore, but they were for many, many years. you're not going to find a program like that where, maybe you find 2 or 3 diamonds in the rough that go on that team, and because they got rejected from the big programs, they're able to put together that Cinderella team. Like, I think because of the NIL deal, nobody is going to be able to get that Cinderella comp together. Everyone that's going to be worth anything is going to go to all these different schools, and it's just going to be very, very top heavy, if you will. Now, I could see some upsets happening in like round 2 or 3, but the first round, I don't see many upsets happening, which to me is because of the NIL deal. Versus in the past, I feel like we've seen a lot of them because they don't have that. So I feel like it's interesting. You're kind of like arguing one way, but then your over-under is the opposite from the way I view it, at least.
Sure. Well, I think, if you look historically, like I said, yeah, I would be gobsmacked if we saw another Florida Atlantic run or a Chicago Loyola, if you remember back to those ones.
Yeah.
People remember Chicago Loyola with Sister Teresa. I'm sorry,
Right.
I'm probably not right on the name, but you know who it was. I don't think I think it's going to be hard to see those come, but it is an interesting thing though, because if you think about it, like I said, it's a different kind of complaint, because like I remember, so I'm a Wisconsin fan, obviously. And Wisconsin has always been a you breed the talent, right? So you bring them up. It's you're gonna get 4, maybe 5 years. Now, obviously, with like and they're still extending like COVID stuff to some of these things, or you got guys that have got 6, 7, 8 years of eligibility,
Wow.
which is insane to me.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely
crazy.
insane. But we as a Wisconsin fan, I used to complain about the Dukes and the UNCs that would get all the Wisconsin or the McDonald's All Americans, right? One and dones. Kansas. They're going to go for 1 year of school and then they're going to go to the NBA after that.
Right.
And now I feel like I'm kind of arguing the same thing, but in a slightly older stance, where it's like, because yeah, the and I know we started NIL, but like the portal, being able to transfer amongst schools, you get these powerhouses that are already great organizations, but now they're able to almost in a sense, it is free agency, right?
Yeah.
It's free agency for college athletes.
Yep.
Which is kind of Sister Jean. Thank you, Ray Rock. Yes, 100%. Sorry, Sister Jean. Rest in peace. I know she passed away or late last year, I think it was.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Epic, but
very interesting. So yeah, that is not where I expected you to go on that, sir. There's the heel turn from you, man. So you're saying, okay, so just real clear, guys, the over under. So we always do an over under for the spread on sports, hence why it's called the spread on sports. The over under is 4.5 upsets in the first round. That number is very specifically chosen. Historically speaking, that is the average. It is 4.5. I
was just going to ask you,
upsets.
What is it usually?
Yeah, that is based on actual historical research that I did. And by that I mean I Googled it. But 4.5 upsets.
Research, come on.
Yeah, that is the actual average for the first round, and again, that's prior to NIL deals. So I'm intrigued to see how this is going to play out. You're taking the under, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
I don't think it's going to be an increase. I really don't. Yeah.
See, I agree. I think it's going to be the under. I think it's going to be fewer upsets, but I think that is a direct correlation to the NIL deals. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out. You watch, we're both going to be wrong. It's going to be like 6 or 7 upsets in the first round.
Which I would love. Which I would love. Like I look back to like last year's tournament. There wasn't a lot of action in the first 2 rounds. I felt kind of silly because like we were sitting there watching, and so like and if you're not a college basketball fan, when you get these tournaments that start, I mean, essentially tip 1 is at 11:15 a.m. God's time, and it goes until like almost midnight, and then it's both days, Thursday and Friday, and there wasn't a lot of upsets, which was kind of frustrating. You get to the end of the day, and it's like, ugh. I wanted to see a little more juice, but
it's funny. I feel like this is almost related to our conversation we had with Dunk last week on like powerhouse teams. Are powerhouse teams good for sports? And I feel like in this case, the NIL deals are going to lead to even more of that than what we've had in the past. And what makes the NCAA tournament so great, in my opinion, is all the Cinderella stories, all these super small schools being successful. And like, I feel like we're seeing the end of that era, essentially. Unfortunately. But I'm intrigued to see how this plays out.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. Like I said, and for me with the tournament though too, like with the March Madness, it really starts with the conference tournaments though too, because until they decide to change so if you're not aware, if you win your conference tournament, it's an automatic bid into the tournament. And that's where it gets really interesting. I mean, you see a lot of interesting things where you can get hot at the right time, and so what happens then, so just use the Big Ten for example, right? If somebody were to get hot and take a run at let's say Iowa, it's probably not going to happen, but let's say Iowa gets hot and takes a Big Ten tournament. Well, that's an automatic bid into March Madness, into the NCAA. All right. Well, that takes a bit away from an at-large team too, so that field shrinks just a little bit, and it gets a little nuts. So March Madness really does. I mean, it is starting this week with the conference. Although I guess technically you've got some of the conferences that most people don't care about have already had their tournaments and stuff like that. But
that is a good point. I forgot about that aspect of it. Really good point. Speaking of Dunk, guys, he's in the chat tonight as well. Welcome in, Dunk. Any final parting thoughts on March Madness there, Horizon?
I'm excited. I'm nervous as always for my Badgers. I think my Badgers have got a chance. I was watching. I actually got to sit. So pre-stream we were talking a little bit about the streaming wars stuff. I actually got to watch the Badgers play. They were on CBS on Saturday, I think it was. They beat Purdue. I'm excited for my Badger boys to get out there. As funny as it is with talk about the NIL stuff and whether you like it and the transfer portal and all that stuff, we've got a point guard that transferred into Wisconsin at the beginning of the year, who wouldn't otherwise be here if they hadn't changed some of those rules. But I'm pretty excited. This is a team that has knocked off Michigan. In fact, Michigan's only loss this year is to Wisconsin. We knocked off Michigan State. Suck it, Ray Rock. Purdue, we beat Illinois. We've got a lot of top wins. It is a dangerous team. I'm excited. I got my fingers crossed that my boys are going to put a good showing on come there. And I'm ready. I'm almost ready. I'm not quite. I got to get my IRL shit lined up, but I want to be ready. I want to be ready. That's what's important.
I feel like I know the answer already, but who do you think is going to win the whole tournament?
Oh God, Jesus, boy, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that at all.
I figured it would be easy. It would just take Wisconsin.
No, God, no. I can't just do that. God, who wins it all? I honestly don't know. Ray Rock's gonna hate this. It's hard to argue against Michigan. He said they have put up such a solid resume throughout the season. It's hard to argue against them.
Yep.
A couple of teams that I would see possibly making a run at it too would be West Virginia. Is another team. They play really good defense, which is interesting because sometimes that translates, sometimes it doesn't. But I could see West Virginia being a thorn in somebody's paw. Arkansas is another team that I could see making a run at it too. I like the Razorbacks and that too. So I said it would be hard to argue against Michigan though. Right now, and I know that's a ridiculous thing. Like the number one seed is going to win it all, but
no, it's not ridiculous.
It's hard to argue against it.
If I wasn't a Duke fan, I'd take Michigan too, but I got to go Duke all the way. So. And
I see Dunk with the UConn. It's hard to argue against UConn too. I mean, that pedigree is there. Although I didn't like Spectacle's little temper tantrum at the end of the game the other night. But it's hard to argue against UConn. I mean, you look at what they've done. They ran back to back. So yeah, they've you can't sleep on them. I guess so.
That's a good way to put it. All right, great stuff, man, on March Madness in sports in general, guys. All right, moving on to our second topic.
Galaxy of Gaming.
All right, so Horizon, you obviously are a Star Wars person. You stream a lot of Swugga, but because I come from a Swugga background, everyone and their uncle that I have on here can do Swugga. So I try to pick stuff that is not just Swugga related, and I know you have a big background in Final Fantasy. So I wanted to kind of take this from a Final Fantasy standpoint, especially because, again, last week, Duncan and I talked a lot about ARPGs and some of the big name franchises from that. So our gaming statement, so the way this works is it's reasonable or ridiculous for anybody that is new to our podcast here. The statement is Final Fantasy is the best franchise ever. Horizon. Is that reasonable or is that ridiculous, and why?
So out of curiosity, I think you had said that you've only played one.
Correct. I've only ever played one.
What was the one you played, out of
I
curiosity?
have no idea. It was forever ago. How many of them are there?
A shitload.
I was going to say, aren't there like 20 or something?
Lot. There is an insane amount, which is funny that you bring this up because, like, to be honest with you, I've only ever really played 2 of them. That's it.
Oh, really?
I have not gone deep dive into this as far as all the different ones, because can somebody in chat, how many Final Fantasy games are there? I swear it's got to be probably 20.
I would guess 20. Point. Yeah, I would guess it's in the 20 range.
It's up there.
I'll say this because chat asked this as well. I'm pretty sure I played Final Fantasy on a PlayStation of some kind. So I did not grow up a PC player, so I know it wasn't on PC. I don't. Is it on any other platform other than PlayStation? So
now it is. Yeah.
Is it okay? So
yeah,
I would guess.
Well, I mean, back in the day, it was the Nintendo.
Oh, really?
So I don't know when it switched over to PlayStation, I guess.
Oh.
But back in the day, it was Nintendo.
Oh. I don't think it would have been Nintendo. Because when I played Nintendo, it was like Duck Hunt. Like that long ago. I don't think Final Fantasy was a thing back then.
Final Fantasy VII was the first PlayStation. Okay.
So that's funny because what my guess was going to be was Final Fantasy VII. That was what I would guess. So it's probably what it was then.
Now, I played Final Fantasy VII on PC back in the day. I didn't play it on PlayStation, but I played it on PC.
Okay.
And you know, to date myself, that the gray in my beard doesn't do that for me, but let's go even further. When I bought it, it was on, I believe 4 discs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you didn't just play it, all right? You had 4 different discs that you had to go on.
That's crazy.
And then this is why I think it's funny about whether Final Fantasy is the greatest franchise of all time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished Final Fantasy VII because my PC crashed on me. I was on the either 3rd or 4th disc, and my PC crashed. It only could handle so much porn, I guess. And Final Fantasy, it blew up. And so I never got a chance to finish it. I did actually start playing the remastered version. So they came out with remastered. They got really weird names for it. They don't make it easy on people. So they got like Final Fantasy. It's like Integrate Remake or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
We've done the first installment. I've played the first installment. I've got the second one lined up. I haven't played it yet. I absolutely loved Final Fantasy VII. Absolutely loved Final Fantasy VII. I spent so much freaking time wasted at that stupid Golden Saucer casino OG. I mean, like I probably could have invented a longer lasting light bulb or something like that if it hadn't been for Final Fantasy VII. I wasted a lot of time, but for me, it goes back. Final Fantasy III, where Final Fantasy VI, depending on how you want to look at it, Final Fantasy III in the States, Final Fantasy VI overall and in Japan, is, in my opinion, the greatest video game that has ever been made.
Really?
You will never do better than that.
Wow.
Not even close. It's not even close.
Interesting. So, well, that raises a really interesting question then. So I'm pretty sure I played 7. I can't confirm that though. I don't.
Seven would have been Cloud was the main character with the giant giant
sword
and
yeah.
a motorcycle.
That sounds right. I'm pretty sure that's what it was then. I don't remember that being that great of a game. Um, I, I'm kind of spoiling what my answer is going to be, but like, so you raise a very good point though. So like, because like I'll put it this way as an argument. I have played not great game versions of what I think is the greatest franchise ever. That doesn't mean that I would still detract and hold back the greatest franchise ever. So you say, kind of on the counter argument of this, you say that it's the best game you have ever played. Does that mean that it's the best franchise that you have ever played?
That's tough. Well, I don't have the I haven't played enough of it to say it, but I think that it is you could make that assessment. I think you could. I have only played the two, Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 7.
Uh-huh.
Both blew my mind. They were both fantastic games. I absolutely love them. Obviously, I didn't finish Final Fantasy 7. We're gonna get there at some point when they get down remaking it. But just honestly, just after Final Fantasy 3, it changed my life, man.
Wow.
Like it was that good of a game. I still remember. I can tell you right now. It was. I was in second grade when I first heard of it, and it was my friend Michael, who was the pastor's son. I went to a parochial school. It was a pastor's son. He introduced me to the game, and I remember going over to his house after school, and his older brother was actually playing it, and watching him playing it, and just absolutely falling in love. And was like, I need to have this game. I need to buy this game, and yeah, I said it absolutely changed my life. I love that game. So I just based on my obsession with Final Fantasy 3, I can make the conjecture that I think you could argue it is the greatest franchise.
All right, so you're saying it's reasonable. It's not ridiculous.
I think it's 100% reasonable.
100% reasonable.
Look at the longevity of the series.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. That's a good point.
You're not going to be making 20 versions of a game that suck and nobody likes, right? I mean, I think there's something to be said for that. But Final Fantasy 3, I got so much crap, man, because we redid Final Fantasy 3. We played that on stream. And I got so much crap from everybody like, "Oh, wow, look at the pixels. You're like, this is terrible." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. The graphics aren't great, but the story is there, the characters are there, the music is there. You know, I don't know. I was one of my favorite stream segments that I ever did. I got so much enjoyment out of that, replaying that. So I think it's 100% reasonable that you can make the argument. I guess what are you putting up against it? You have something. You have something. I know you do.
So you're like, the more you talk, the more you're slowly convincing me. Because like, so in my heart, I would say God of War is the greatest franchise of all time. Now, that's just, I love that franchise so much. And it's just what I want. My heart tells me to go with. My brain is a different story. My brain, yes, it's a great game. It's been around for a while now at this point. It has some amazing storytelling. It revolutionized gameplay in a lot of ways. But man, you pointed out 20 different versions of it. There's not, like, God of War is not anywhere close to that. Like, so I want to say God of War, but in reality, it's not. So, but when I think with my brain, there are some others that I think could compete. Okay. One of them clearly being Mario Brothers. I mean, the number of games that have come from that, the number of movies and things like that we've gotten from it that have branched off from that game franchise, like it's very, very, very influential. But not so fast, my friend. The question wasn't, or not, the statement wasn't that it's the most influential franchise of all time, because one could argue that Mario Brothers is the most influential of all time. One could even argue that World of Warcraft, another big one, could be very, very big. But that doesn't mean it's the best. You said, and God, I can't believe you're going to convince me, Horizon. I can't believe you're doing this, man. The gameplay, the growth aspect of things, the cinematics behind it, the longevity of it, the music, behind it, it's some of the best soundtracks of all games of all time. It may not be as catchy as Mario Brothers, but man, I think if Mario Brothers is not number one, then it probably is Final Fantasy.
Mario Brothers is so iconic.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's just you talk about it, but yeah, it's just Chrono Trigger. Sorry, I'm looking at chat. Chrono Trigger is still the best game.
It's not really a franchise, though, is it?
I also love Chrono Trigger. For me personally, it's not as good as Final Fantasy, but I really enjoyed Chrono Trigger. It's a fantastic game as well too. But yeah, I go back to it, so it was like maybe it was like not even like a month ago, I think it was. I threw the soundtrack to Final Fantasy 3 on, and I was listening to it with my kids as we were driving into to school/work, you know, and I was explaining to them like each song that came on. I was like, okay, this is what's happening, you know, and yeah, I mean, it transports me.
Man,
I think if I was gonna say gun to my head, I think Mario is probably. I don't think you can really beat Mario. I really don't think you can.
So you raise a good point though, okay? So if we were ranking the games, I could see putting Mario above Final Fantasy. But that's not the game. That's not the game we're playing right now. The game we're playing is Reasonable or Ridiculous. And the concept of Final Fantasy being the greatest franchise of all time, in my opinion, is far more reasonable than ridiculous. So, like, you've convinced me. I was going to go ridiculous at first. I was going to go God of War. But your argument, man, has been spot on. It's absolutely reasonable. It is reasonable, guys. It is very, very reasonable. Final Fantasy, greatest franchise of all time.
And now I want to play Chrono Trigger, though, too.
I know, right? There was some good game discussion. God of War, Mario Brothers, World of Warcraft.
I've never played God of War.
Really?
That's got to get on my list. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man!
I'm sorry, I haven't. I am fucking awful at starting and finishing games. I'm really not good at it. I'm really not. I'm currently in the middle of Red Dead 1. Red Dead Redemption 1. That's what we're playing right now when we get around to it. So
interesting. I mean, obviously there has to be one. All I've ever heard about is Red Dead Redemption 2. And I've heard like that's the greatest game of all time kind of discussion.
Everybody thinks Red Dead 2 is better, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I've enjoyed Red Dead 1. It's fun. I just don't have enough time to play it. So.
Interesting.
But
well, let us know in comments and or chat, guys. Do you agree? Do you think that the Final Fantasy that is reasonable that it's the greatest franchise of all time, or do you think it's ridiculous that it would be the greatest franchise of all time? I imagine we're all going to
fight whoever says it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say ridiculous in that statement. It might be tough to swallow the pill of reasonable, but it's definitely more reasonable than ridiculous. That's for sure. Good stuff, Horizon. All right, guys, moving into music.
Musical news.
So, Horizon, one of the things that you do in your streams that I love is you like to do Disney nights. You do Disney-themed music nights where you'll play different kind of, princess songs or hero songs or whatever, different variations on it. So I was like, okay, we got to have a discussion on some Disney music here for our music portion. So the way this works, everybody that is new to the channel or new to the podcast, we do an A versus B type scenario here where we do one versus the other. Horizon, the question is, what is the better Disney soundtrack? So not movie, but soundtrack. Lion King or Beauty and the Beast?
I think I've been dreading this question more than any other one.
This is a nightmare scenario.
I don't think this is like which juggernaut do you like more?
It's good question in the chat. This is animated. This is the original, not the redos. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, these are the original animated movies, guys. The original animated soundtrack. So I'll start it this way, Horizon. So Beauty and the Beast obviously won an Oscar for best original song. Beauty and the Beast itself won that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't believe Lion King won an Oscar for Best Original Song.
I was just gonna ask that. I feel like they would have been in the conversation at
I
least.
know for soundtrack it was. So again, for anybody that's out there and is unfamiliar with this stuff, there's a difference between Best Original Song and Best Original Soundtrack. Soundtrack is basically the award for the entirety of the music that was done, versus song is one specific song that was super great. So, like for instance, to make this current, I think that K-pop Demon Hunters, I think Golden will win Best Original Song at the Oscars, but I think Sinners is going to win Best Original Soundtrack. So just to put it in comparison for everybody, with a more current example of that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know Beauty and the Beast won an Oscar. I know that for a fact. I don't believe Lion King did. I'll Google that real quick. But let's say best song to start with. Who do you think it is? Lion King
God,
or Beauty and the Beast? Just best song.
Oh, best song. Hmm. What's interesting about it is, so like Lion King, like from the get go, grabs you. Ah, Savannah! Right?
I was
From the
wrong.
get go.
I was
Grabs
wrong.
you.
I just Googled
Oh,
it. It won Best Original
Did-
Song. Can You Feel the Love
for
Tonight?
Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Elton John. Yeah.
Whoops.
So we got Can You Feel the Love Tonight won an Oscar, and then Beauty and the Beast won an Oscar
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we are. It is the golden age of Disney, the
It is.
revival of Disney, right?
The
I mean,
animation,
the early
yeah.
90s.
Yes, animation,
dropping
yes.
it out there. Um,
Which one do you think's the better song? So, Can You Feel the Love Tonight or Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast.
I agree. I'm with you on that one.
Yep.
Fun fact.
You know, it's one of those interesting things where, I think for me, it's the vocalist, and Angela Lansbury brought something unexpected to that rendition, to that song. You know, Elton John.
There's something there that wasn't there before?
Oh, Chip, you cheeky little bugger. Get back into the cupboard. Well, you got Elton John, who is a bona fide musical superstar, right?
Right.
You know, singing a song.
And Tim Rice doing the lyrics
Lansbury
too.
is Murder She Wrote, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know she did other things, you know, but that's but her rendition, her performance of Beauty and the Beast is next level. It's unexpected, and unexpected in a good way.
Yes.
I think if I were to put those two against each other, and just in the presentation within the film, I think Beauty and the Beast does it better too. You know, with Lion King, you've got this weird sort of montage type thing, and Timon and Pumbaa, which actually, and so now that you say this, now that I think about it, I remember reading this not that long ago that originally for that song, they were Disney had Timon and Pumbaa singing the entire song. And Elton John saw a release of the film, right? They screened it for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no. You're not having a pig and a meerkat sing my love song. I want to have something to say about this. And so they actually brought him in, and he recorded what actually ended up going into the actual film version. So originally it was supposed to be Timon and Pumbaa that sung the whole thing. But yeah, I think just the presentation of the two, I would say Beauty and the Beast takes the cake for me.
Interesting. You're talking just the song, correct? Not the soundtrack. Or are you talking
just the song, but
yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah. So for me, I'm with you on that. I think Beauty and the Beast, the song, is better than Can You Feel the Love Tonight, the song. To me, even so, I was what, middle school? I want to say when Lion King came out. Maybe No, I was still elementary. But when Can You Feel the Love came out, I was like, this is so cheesy and over the top, and like I just didn't think it was a that good of a song. I thought it was way overrated. Versus Beauty and the Beast, I feel like it's not overrated. Like, it's far more classic in my opinion. Like, it will be good forever and ever and ever. Versus when I go back now and I listen to Can You Feel the Love Tonight, it feels like it's from the late 80s, early 90s, and it needs to stay in that time frame. Like, it just doesn't translate as well as Beauty and the Beast does, in my opinion.
Sure. No, I agree. And again, I said this, but I go back to it. And I think it is something to do with like, and because you see with these soundtracks too, where they have like different recording artists will record the song or something like that. But like you go back to that Angela Lansbury version of Beauty and the Beast, and there is something about it that is perfectly imperfect.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just it's not 100%. Like if you were a vocal coach, you know, and saying this, you know, she's not hitting everything, but man, there's something about it that is just it warms the heart. Like I said, it's a fantastic version of the song.
So we've talked a little bit about that on my reaction channel. That's one of the things I love about live music is being able to hear the imperfections in live music versus a studio recording. To me, it's so much more valuable to hear those imperfections than when it's just clean cut and crystal clear and been, you know, edited up and down kind of a situation. I just much prefer that.
If that's the thing, just throw on the CD or the streamer or whatever. You can listen to that song ever. But yeah, there's something that is real when you listen to it.
Yeah. Now, so on the soundtrack topic, this gets so difficult. But so I think we need to address the elephant in the room, and that these two soundtracks are very different soundtracks because one of them, Beauty and the Beast, in my opinion, was written for a musical versus Lion King, and you see this with the composers behind it as well. Lion King was written to be a movie. So the basic core style of cinema that these both are, I think, plays a huge impact on how you judge the soundtrack. I think, which is crazy because Lion King translates very well to musical theater now. Like, it's one of the most popular shows in Broadway of all time. Like,
is it the longest running Broadway show? I think it might be. It's been forever.
It's been a long time. I want to say Phantom still has that beat. I could be wrong though. Hold
on. Just one second. Filippo Dante. Sorry.
Oh, I just now saw it in chat. You were ahead of the game on that one. Yes, Phantom of the Opera currently holds the longest one. That's what I thought.
Okay.
But I believe, the current active musical, that's the difference. That's why it's not thought of anymore. The current active ones, though, are Chicago. Technically, that's because of the revival, so that doesn't necessarily count. The Lion King is the longest active non-broken up. I don't know what the word would be for that.
I know.
And then Wicked behind that. So you were kind of on the right track. But yeah, the actual longest one is Phantom of the Opera. Welcome in, Phil, by the way. So in my opinion, you kind of have to judge them both a little bit differently. Consecutive. Thank you. Why could I not think of the word consecutive? It's such a basic word. Yeah, right. I think because of that, you have to judge them differently. So where I was going with my topic there, Beauty and the Beast is just naturally a musical. There was very little they had to do to adapt it to a show in musical theater versus Lion King it's a technical spectacle is what I should say. Like, some of the music translated well, some of it did not. They had to add a lot of music to make it work. But the technical side of it, the artistic side of the costuming and things like that is what makes that great. Not necessarily the music, if that makes sense. So, I think that has a big effect on it. For me, Horizon, I think it's because I'm such a big fan of Hans Zimmer. It's so hard for me to not pick Lion King. Some of the music in there is just so incredible, and it covers such a broad spectrum of style. I think that's kind of where I'm going with this. Beauty and the Beast is a musical theater and a kind of a classic musical theater show, and a lot of the music is of the same style. Versus Lion King, you literally have Hakuna Matata, you have, which is just this upbeat song. You have Can You Feel the Love Tonight, like a love ballad. You have The opener with oh my goodness, is it just called Lion King? No, why am I
I
blank?
honestly don't know what the open song is
Yeah,
called.
well, the opening song,
Circle of
obviously,
Life.
Circle
I
of
mean,
Life. Thank you.
Circle of
Yes,
Life is
Circle of
yeah, yeah.
Life. The more theatrical one, yeah, Scars. Be prepared. Thank you, Dunk. Is more on
Oh, God
the
damn it, Dunk.
yeah, that's more on like the theatrical side of
That
things.
was one I hadn't thought about. All right.
But then you can have one like I don't know what the title of it is, but when you I should know this. Goodness gracious, the song where it's he's returned or whatever, where he's hearing his dad in the clouds and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that is so cinematic. Like that is it. Again, it works in theater, but just the
So
variety and style, I think, says so much for Lion King compared to Beauty and the Beast.
I could see this argument. So if we're going like from a song standpoint, all right? So
Hmm.
just the songs. I think Beauty and the Beast walks all over the Lion King. I think that it has better songs
Really,
overall. You know, when you look at from Belle, which is fantastic. It's
that
such a
is a good
great
one. Yes,
medley of a song. Gaston, fun. All right, you know, "Be Our Guest" is so iconic. To Beauty and the Beast. So I think from a song standpoint, I think if you're talking from a cinema standpoint, all right. So when you're talking about the music that is not necessarily put the words and everything like that. I think I could see that. I think I'm thinking about like as Simba is taking his place at Pride Rock, at the end, like yeah, the music that is hit there is so much. It has more substance, I think, than what you might see at Beauty and the Beast.
interesting.
But
Oh, there's a but. Okay, okay.
between the two, between the two, Beauty and the Beast. I think Beauty and the Beast has got a better overall. Yep.
Wow, that's nuts to me, man. Like, yeah, no, okay. So, Chad, anybody that is again listening to this not live, Chad is chiming off a lot on some of the different songs in Lion King, and those are the ones we think of that are the catchy ones. But like, think about the emotional toll of these two soundtracks. Okay, He Lives in You / Remember. Remember was the soundtrack original. He Lives in You was the adaptation in theater. But the Remember, that song is so incredibly moving. The Stampede song during the Stampede section, and then so it's called Reflections of Mufasa. When Mufasa dies, spoiler alert. like I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about these scenes. Like the musical gravity of those scenes in Lion King, there's nothing in Beauty and the Beast that compares, in my opinion. Like the songs are catchy, they're great songs, they're great from a lyrical standpoint. But I think I'm showing my colors as a band person and not a vocal person here. But to me, the instrumentation, to go back to Duncan and I's topic from last week, the instrumentation in Lion King is just so much better than it
Yeah,
is in Beauty and the Beast.
I don't disagree. Yeah, if we're talking from a cinematic score standpoint, yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I think Lion King has got a little bit more going for it. But yeah, if you get into the actual songs, yeah, I think Beauty and the Beast eats Lion King's cake.
Wow.
But
This
yeah.
is literally so a little plug for episode 3 in case anybody missed episode 3 where Duncan and I discuss which one's more important, lyrics or instrumentation. I feel like this is kind of what this is right now. Like the lyrics and the storytelling of Beauty and the Beast are better, but the instrumentation and emotional conveyance of Lion King are better. Like which one's more important? Which one is better? Oh my goodness, we're at a standstill, Horizon.
Uh, Unfortunately, and this is gonna seem silly, but like from in an animated children's film, now obviously not just for children, but obviously that's their primary audience and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. Yeah, I think you got to give it to the lyrics.
Man.
You can't expect a 6-year-old to grasp the gravitas of the scoring as Mufasa falls and tumbles to his death. Although I'm covering their eyes at that point too. Like,
Wow.
Jesus Christ, don't watch this.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. I think it's amazing. I'm all about kids learning about death when they're 6. Let's go.
Oh my God, what?
Bambi. I watched Bambi when I was like 4 years old. I bawled my eyes out. I learned how to deal with emotional trauma real young.
Well, I've learned how to deal with it too.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, let us know in the comments. Let us know in chat. Old Yeller, yes. Comments in chat. Yes, good. That's a good call too. Which one do you think is the better soundtrack, guys? This is a hot topic on this one. Is it Lion King? Is it Beauty and the Beast? Let us know your thoughts on lyrics versus instrumentation, and then go watch episode 3 with me and Dunk, please. Great discussions there on the music front. All right, sir. Moving on, this is kind of related. This is a little bit related going between our musical musings today and our
Scintillating cinema.
So, Horizon, both of the soundtracks that we talked about are Disney classic animation movies. Obviously, the 90s, the early 90s, mid-90s were a huge heyday for Disney. Huge movies. Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, just to name a few, Little Mermaid. And of late, Disney has been redoing a lot of these and making them live action. Sorry, what?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
They've been leaning into this.
And they have, I guess their argument is because it's live action, it's worth doing again. Kind of like, so again, not Disney, but How to Train Your Dragon is a good example of this, where it was animated and they redid the live action version of it.
Can I add, so and I will 100% say I have not seen any of the How to Train Your Dragon. I haven't seen any of them.
Oh, really?
Right?
Wow. Okay.
No. But how much of the live action is, but this is what bugs me about it too, is you're going to say, hey, we're doing a live action, but then a good portion of it is still CG generated.
Mm.
You know, like that's not a live, obviously dragon or whatever,
Right.
but it's not a puppet or a practical effect or anything like that. It's still computer generated, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So you raise a good point. We can kind of cross that bridge here in a moment, because I think that's a key thing to think
damn
about.
It.
Okay, well, we can do it now too. So like, so the area again that we're discussing here, guys, is Disney. It can be more than just Disney, but animated classics that are being redone. And obviously the lens view of this is that they're being redone because it's live action. So first of all, with your point there, Horizon, I think that if it is a CGI original movie, think like Toy Story, How to Train Your Dragon, some of these really early era animated CGI movies.
Those movies where they totally had the renderings of what humans look like down 100% and they weren't at all terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't have as much of an issue with those being redone and updated to live action, because like, so here's my thing. So I've seen both How to Train Your Dragons. I'm a big fan of both. I've seen some of the other, like How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3. I've seen all 3 of them. I don't have as much of an issue with the live action version of that one, because the animation was so outdated at this point now compared to the animation that they were able to do in terms of CGI. Plus, the only CGI they really did in this was the dragons. Everything else was real people. For the most part, I think it was real sets. I mean, obviously, there's variation on what is real versus not in any kind of movie like that. But I think that has a little bit more grounds for being redone, especially because they barely changed anything from the original to the remake. And I think that's a key thing here. And I'm not we're going to get into politics. I don't want to get into politics. I'm not talking about it from that perspective. I'm talking about changing core aspects of the original movie. So that's a thing where I don't mind it if it's a desperate need of update in terms of animation, if that makes sense to you.
So when you talk about changing core aspects, so you would be talking like Beauty and the Beast live action, where all of a sudden they've got this whole backstory of what happened to Belle's mother and the plague. And
that is exactly what I'm referring to. They added a completely new song to it that wasn't in the original. Like, all of these additions that should not have been there. They just should not have been there. That's not what the original movie was. It does not, in my opinion, add anything to it, quite frankly. And in this case, Beauty and the Beast, it is. I have not seen all of the remakes, admittedly, but that one is what killed my desire to see any remakes ever by Disney, because
that one broke my heart a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
She was horrendous. Horrendous.
I was so excited when the teaser trailer for that live action remake was so well done.
Yeah.
All right. They had I guess contradict what I said earlier, but the music, that's playing in, the piano that's playing in, and the slow push in, and it was on the rose, and it was, this December Disney invites you once again to be our guest, and it's, oh my God, I was so excited.
Yeah.
And man, did that fun. And honestly, I think that was the one that kind of broke me on the Disney live action remakes.
Yep.
I was excited. I was excited to see Emma Watson, right? It's Watson, right?
I think that's her name, yes. Yeah. Hermione Granger.
There's an Emma Watts, too, isn't there? It's not fair. It's mean to have two actresses. Come on.
Emma Watts? I don't know of an Emma Watts. There's an Emma Thompson, but she's way older.
It's Emma Thompson? Maybe Emma Watts.
Emma Thompson's super older.
I thought she was going to be fantastic. I really did. I had high hopes. I was like, man, she's going to do something with this.
Yeah.
This live action. And boy, did it just fall flat. Nothing about that live action remake hit for me at any. And I said, I think that's the one that broke me, because like I said, I didn't watch the Snow White remake. I haven't seen it yet. Man, from what I saw of it, the trailers and stuff like that, it was just like, ew, that looks bad. I'm just gonna avoid that.
Yeah.
And not even going into the politics and all. Let's just go the straight animation side of it too. And again, you talk about live action,
right?
Well, you use CGI to do all the dwarves.
For the dwarves, yeah, exactly.
What the fuck, man? Like,
right. Yeah,
and it's almost like, and say what you want about The Hobbit. All right, obviously not everybody loves The Hobbit and the trilogy and all that stuff, but goddamn if he didn't lean into that and do practical effects for all of the dwarves in The Hobbit, and it actually plays pretty well. And that was recent, and Disney was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this, and it clearly was atrocious for them.
So you raised a good point there with that, So I think this comes down to a core aspect of animation too. So one of the things that How to Train Your Dragon did well. So we're looking at a masterclass of who did it well and who did it terribly. How to Train Your Dragon did it really well. They stuck to the key story. They barely added anything new to it. And when they did the animation, here's the key factor, okay? The animation looked almost identical to the original animation, except they just cleaned it up and they made it more, HD version. But all of the animated features of the faces for the dragons, for the most part, were still present. Like you could see the emotional aspect of those characters through the animation. Versus like Lion King, I never watched Lion King either because I didn't need to listen to the music. So Beauty and the Beast, like I said, ruined it for me for music. Lion King, there's no way you can have true CGI created animals that look realistic to animals and have that emotive effect that you need from an animated story, an animated movie. Like you just can't do it. That does not make sense to me to do that when you can't convey those things through that medium.
100%. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. Is there?
It's not even close. Yeah.
Is there?
Now, I will say this much: you have convinced me. I've gotten shout out to Grundy. You probably know Grundy from the community as well too. He has leaned on me heavily to watch the How to Train Your Dragon series and everything like that. I need to do that.
It is very good.
He is. Yeah, he has been very adamant that I need to watch that with my girls. So he said sit the girls down and watch that, and you'll enjoy it. But yeah, what do you think it is though? Why is it that they're leaning into this so much?
Oh, money. It's all about the money.
But sorry. Hold on, I'm gonna die.
All right. So I'll talk about why, in my opinion. So
Go for it.
we are millennials, at least most of us, I believe, in our generation age group that we've had here on the Shawk Tawk podcast. We're millennials. We grew up with these movies, and the millennial generation right now is the most active in terms of a financial. We may not have the most money, but we're the most active financially. We're spending the money. We also have kids, for the most part, that are right in that prime age that we were during the heyday of the early 90s with all of these animated classics. So it just makes sense from a monetary standpoint for Disney to try to capitalize on that age that we're at. Get all of the nostalgia people into the theaters to come back and see all of these nostalgic movies that they grew up with but are different, and ideally hook their kids on this new generation of movie to have them want to watch this, and it may become a nostalgic thing for them as well. Like, it's all about money, in my opinion. Like, the stories, like
Sure.
Lion King does not need to be redone. It is perfection. It's like the Shawshank Redemption. No one should ever redo it.
We sure as hell didn't need a prequel. All right, we didn't need
Right.
to know Mufasa's origin story. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just they just want to make money. Like, and it's been such a big thing in Hollywood right now. We're getting a little off topic on this, but in Hollywood across the board, I feel like they're just doing redos of things or revisiting classics because it's just a cop out to try to get more money. Like, come up with original ideas, original stories, and put that content out so that we can enjoy new things. I don't mind if you use an existing IP. Like, we talked about this last week in the podcast with Dunk, and how, like, Mario Brothers, as an example, could be a good IP in a movie setting, but do an original story. Don't try to rehash how they become brothers again, like we've heard for 500 bazillion times. Same thing with, like, Spider-Man movies. We don't need to hear how Peter Parker became Peter Parker. We know. Create a new story within that existing IP that is original and good. Then I'm a little more open to revisiting some of these classics. But just a straight up redo, especially the premier classic animation style of, like, Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, you can't top those. You just can't, in my opinion.
It's hard. I have said, though, from time to time too, like I wouldn't be opposed to taking say like a Snow White.
Mhm.
All right, so you're talking like 1930s
Yes.
animation.
That's a very
and
old one,
taking
yeah.
today's modern animation techniques,
Yes.
and putting it back out there. I don't need to see a live action, but man,
Right.
I wouldn't mind seeing, like I said, I have a great appreciation for the techniques and the styles that went into the original making of that film.
Yeah.
But man, I wouldn't hate seeing a modern take on it from an animation standpoint.
Yeah, I'm
I
a
don't
little
need to
more
see
open
live
to that.
action.
Yeah, I'm definitely more open to that. It was cool. I just saw, I think it was on social media, maybe. I forget where it was, but I saw how Disney created a new way of doing zoom techniques with animation, where they'd have 4 separate panels, and every
The rotoscope, I
yeah,
think,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It was really cool. Like so technology like that obviously we can do today super easily, versus when we had Snow White. Like, I don't think that existed for Snow White. So yeah, I'm on board with that. Taking it's similar to what we talked about earlier with CGI. I'm okay with taking something that's super outdated and updating that to today's standards, as long as it stays consistent to the original. No live action, please. We don't need live action. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a little burned out on that. Yep, I would agree.
Yeah. So, okay. So 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up, 1 thumb down, or 2 thumbs down for animated classics being redone.
Thumb down.
Yeah. 1 thumb or 2?
Yep, I'm done. 1.5.
Okay. 1.5. I'm going full 2. I'm going full 2. I don't trust them at all anymore. They're terrible. All right. Final topic of the evening, sir. This is where we get into some fun stuff.
Tiramisu
Let's go.
tap room.
Tiramisu tap room, guys. Welcome to the tap room. We are going to tier rank 5 different
love
things. These are all Wisconsin related things. So since Horizon is from Wisconsin, and I actually just this past summer, did a trip up through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and down through Wisconsin. So I got to try a lot of these staples. I actually have video footage of it, and I just have never gotten around to putting it anywhere where anybody could see it yet. But I have tried 4 of the 5 things that are on our list here. Now, Horizon. With that being said, so we've got a special little twist to our tier ranking that we do here. The rule is you cannot have more than 1 item in a tier. That's probably going to make this a lot more difficult for you. So our tiers
I don't
are.
think it's going to make it as difficult as you think.
Oh, okay.
To be honest.
So our tiers for anybody
But,
that's, anybody that's not familiar with tier rankings, guys, we have S tier as the top, A tier beneath that, B tier, which means it's good but not amazing, C tier, or what we call Canada here. They're just okay. It's just okay. Soulsy Canada, and then D tier, which is just no thanks. It's not very good. So those are our tiers. The 5 things that we have on our list are cheese curds, bratwurst, butter burgers, Kringle, and New Glarus beer. So anybody that's not familiar with
I gotta think about this.
it is New Glarus. It is a beer. All right. So we're just going to go in the order that I just read them off to you here, Horizon. Starting off with cheese curds. I can say I've had them before, both in Wisconsin and outside of Wisconsin, and I think they're really good. What are your thoughts on cheese curds?
I think they're really good. That you just I think they're really good. Like a nice pair of shoes. Like I don't even know how to respond to that. I want to just sorry. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit, and I'm going to fuck with your setup here or whatever.
Okay.
Baby Yoda Eyes is 100% right. The animated Lord of the Rings from like the 70s is fantastic. I wish they would have had enough money to finish the whole thing and do the whole thing. But yeah, the animated Lord of the Rings is absolutely fantastic. One of my all-time favorites. I love it. So, cheese curds. You really want to start with cheese curds?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. S tier. You
really?
You do not get any better than a cheese curd. There are good cheese curds and there are bad cheese curds, but there are and I guess the question maybe saying, are we talking breaded and deep fried or just a bag?
A what?
So you could buy just a bag of cheese curds.
A bag?
That aren't breaded, that aren't deep fried.
A bag?
Have you ever had that?
A bag of cheese curds.
A bag, yeah, bag.
And
I'm sorry, Phil. I'm sorry, but you can't have poutine without cheese curds. So poutine can't be better than just curds. Like yes, it gets better as you put the whole thing together, right? But to put the two against each other, it's not fair.
So
you can't.
So when I think of cheese curds, specifically Wisconsin cheese curds, I think
Sure.
of breaded and deep fried.
Okay.
When it comes to just cheese curds, I think of Canada. With poutine. I don't think of Wisconsin for that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I've got a giant picture here.
For any of you that are just listening, you're going to have to imagine what this looks like.
Yeah, you're just listening. But yeah, here's a giant picture, and right in the corner there is some cheese curds.
Okay, so those are
right there.
Non-breaded, correct?
Those are non-breaded.
Non-breaded.
Yep, those are non-breaded. So, and they squeak. If you haven't had them, they squeak. So when you take a bite out of them, it squeaks like a mouse or something like that. But they are absolutely fantastic. Fun fact: you can actually, if you have some like day old cheese curds or something like that, you could throw them in the microwave for like 7 seconds, not too long, just a little bit, and it'll bring the squeak back.
Interesting.
But yeah, and there are yellow and there are white. I personally am partial to yellow cheese curds as opposed to white. They're not bad, but I'm partial to yellow. I think gun to my head, I would say deep fried is better than I don't know how else you say it.
Unfried.
Than non-breaded.
Right. Yeah.
Non-breaded. But yeah, I think deep fried is better.
Okay. We're on the same page there.
Deep fried.
Like I prefer the deep fried over the non-deep fried.
Sure.
That's interesting. So maybe I had bad cheese. So I will say this. So we're gonna get into this as I continue as I rate these. I feel like I may have had a bad experience when I had some of these staples. So I got the cheese curds and the butter burger. from a restaurant just outside of Lambeau Field. I cannot remember off the top of my head what it was called. I'll try to look it up and see if I can find it. But
Wait, if you got a Butterburger, was it Culver's?
it was not Culver's. No, no, I
Okay,
didn't want. I didn't want to
Jesus,
go.
what? Sure.
I didn't want to go to like a chain restaurant. I wanted to go to an actual
Culver's
local joint.
does have quite good cheese curds, though.
I've heard that.
In the grand scheme, they got pretty good cheese curds.
I've heard that. Yeah, no, it was a local-ish joint. It was only in Green Bay, I believe. I don't think it was outside. There were two of them. There was an east and a west.
Gotcha.
I'll look it up here in a moment. But the cheese curds that I had there, they weren't bad. They were good. But I'm gonna make you so mad. To me, cheese curds they're nothing without the dip. Like, I have to have some kind of a dip that goes with them. If I have kind of like a semi-spicy-ish, like cheesy-ish, mustard-ish kind of dip to go with it, I like it a lot better.
Mustard? What the?
I don't know, like a little bit of a tang. I like a little bit of a tang.
What I was gonna say, what is your dipping sauce preference?
I don't know. It depends on the restaurant I'm at and what they have.
So I think if you were to pick like the primary dipping sauce up here, honestly, is probably ranch, which is interesting because I don't really like ranch unless I'm dipping cheese curds in it. I am not a big ranch fan, but yeah, it comes there. Now, Mrs. Horizon and I went out to dinner. This was like a couple of years ago. It shows how much we get out. And we went to a place that was renowned for their cheese curds. They were not good. They were super greasy. They were overdone. They weren't great. However, they served them with marinara, and it was fantastic. It was so good. I'm like, wait, this makes sense. You're basically like almost like deep fried mozzarella. Yeah, it makes sense. It was so fucking good.
So that's kind of where I was gonna go with this. Like, I like cheese curds, but I could have just mozzarella sticks, and it's the same thing to me for the most part. Like, it's obviously a different breading,
They're similar,
but it's not like world breaking for me.
The thing of it is that I feel like mozzarella sticks tend to have a seasoning in the breading.
Yes.
Whereas a cheese curd does not usually have a seasoning in the breading. That would be the primary, and obviously then the vessel itself, a mozz stick curd is a little bit different. But I can't believe you went through Wisconsin and you didn't get a bag of fresh cheese curds.
Not the style you're thinking
Wisconsin
of. No.
Right, man. Yeah,
no,
sorry, you're not doing Wisconsin.
Well,
right.
the restaurant that I went to, they were deep fried. I don't think that you had the option as of just cheese.
I would think most restaurants you go to, that's the only option. You would have to go to, believe it or not, we have entire stores dedicated just to cheese. Up here, you would have to go to one of those, and they would have that available.
That I do believe. So,
actually, you want to know what? I would say most gas stations that you go through in Wisconsin would probably have some sort of cheese curd available at them too. So, but if they got that motherfucker in a refrigerator, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Nope. Go find somewhere that's got them on the countertop. They gotta be room temp. Don't eat a cold cheese curd.
By the way, it was called Kroll's West.
Kroll's West.
Kroll is where I went.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's got a 4.0 rating on Google now. It's gone down a lot since I was there. Maybe that's why. It was like a 4.8 when I went. It's now 4.0.
I'm sorry. I think cheese curds are the quintessential Wisconsin food. I don't think you do better in cheese curds.
Interesting. So you have it at S. I'd put it at B tier. Like, I think it's good. I don't think it's just okay.
I go by.
But I do think they're good. Like, I'll definitely eat them without a problem. But they're not S tier in my opinion. So interesting. Okay, moving on to our second one, bratwursts. I'll go first on this one because I'll let you finish on this. So bratwursts.
Sure.
I did not have this at a restaurant. I have one of my cousins lives. They're in Wisconsin, so he technically he works in Minnesota, but they live just over the border in Wisconsin. But they have a camp like up north of Green Bay, somewhere up in there. I forget where exactly. But we went up to their camp the one time, and they made brats for us, And they made it a slightly different approach than what I had always done. So we always just took it and threw it on the grill, and then took it off the grill and then put whatever toppings we wanted on it. So they boiled it first to cook it through and to give it some moisture. Then they just crisped it real quick on the grill at a super high heat to give it that char. And then you ate it with your toppings and stuff. It made such a big difference. I could not believe it. Like, so a little kudos to Wisconsinites and their cooking technique. Like we talked about, 2 weeks ago was Dunk, my fault. Last week was Aussie Mike. I'm getting my things confused. But like we talked about cooking last week, techniques with Aussie Mike. I think that technique made a big difference for me. So for me, brats, especially because you can get so many different variations on brats, and I love cheese in my brat a lot. And of course, I put ketchup on my brat, which you probably are going to say is terrible. I'll put a dash.
No,
of mustard.
I'm not going to hate on you for that.
Oh, okay, good.
You want to know what I actually like on a brat? Like this is going to piss some people off. I do not hate barbecue sauce on a brat.
Ooh, I've never tried that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not hate
barbecue
that.
sauce on a brat is pretty fucking tasty. Yeah.
So
don't hate it at all.
I love brats, man. It's one of my camping staples now. I always take a cheddar brat with me, and it's one of my go-tos. I don't do hot dogs. I do cheddar brats instead. For me, it's S tier.
What are my tiers again? It's S. What's below S?
A, B, C, D.
It's an A tier. Okay. I can only pick one per tier, right?
Yep.
It's an A.
Okay.
It's an A.
We're at least close on that.
I refer to it as a hot tub. So I boil my brats in beer.
Yes.
Beforehand.
Yeah. Yes.
So the par bake, if you want, usually beer and maybe some butter too.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get into like caramelized onions and stuff like that, you can. I don't think you have to, but yeah, I tend to and the thing about that makes it great is it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be fancy, all right? You pop open a Miller Lite, all right, and pour that thing on there, all right? You don't have to have fancy beer to do that. But, yeah, to do a par bake on the stovetop before taking it out to the grill and giving it, just a little kiss. Just a little kiss to get that char, a little bit of the smoke on there. I personally, yes, I would agree. Like if I was mustard, is I don't usually do ketchup. I'm not gonna fault you for doing it. I'm not a big ketchup guy, but mustard is my go for putting it on a brat. But brats are an S tier Wisconsin food choice.
Nice. I'm glad to hear we're not too far off on that one. I didn't think we'd be that far off on that, but I wasn't certain. Okay, next one we've got is butter burgers. First of all,
is Job still here?
I don't know. He might be lurking.
I thought he popped in earlier.
Yeah,
is Job still here? I just want to know how bad I'm going to make somebody.
So I'll let you lead on this one, Horizon, because I said I've only ever had it once, and it was from Kroll's West. And I don't want to say what my thoughts were on it yet, but where's your favorite place to get a butter burger, first of all?
I'm not a fan of the butter burger. I'm not in general. So as I think it was Baby Yoda Eyes said it is Culver's is known for the butter burger up here. That's their thing. Which is a chain. It's a fast food chain. It's fine. It's not high on my list. Honestly, the best part about Culver's, this is going to sound really weird, is their root beer. They have really good root beer.
Interesting.
Root beer and fish. They got really good fish too, which is kind of bizarre. You wouldn't expect a fast food place to have good fish, but they got good fish too. But yeah, my feeling on a butter burger is that it tends to the texture gets weird when you do a butter burger, and it tends to get a little soggy, a little just. I want a little more bite when I'm eating a burger or something like that. So I am not a fan of the butter burger, not at all.
I'm surprised by that. I thought you were going to put that pretty high. For me, it's C tier. For one particular reason, we'll get to that when we get there. But when I had it from Kroll's West, I thought it was not good at all. Like you said, I would rather have an actual just burger and taste the beef than have all that butter be on there, because I feel like they overcook the burger. Like they almost cook out all of the actual good grease from the burger and then replace it with butter. Like it, which then just gets absorbed into the bread. Like it's, so you just end up eating like a really dry burger. Like it just was not good in my opinion at all. And I guess like you have like,
Butterburger is not a good representation.
you have like defined toppings for that too, don't you? Or is that variable?
You can,
Okay.
you can. I think again you get into like that, but it depends on what you want to do for the toppings then too. Because like if you're going, I'm not a big onion guy, but like,
Mhm.
if you go, you can't really do caramelized onions because you just got soft texture on soft texture,
Yep.
you know. So you almost have to go like a raw onion or something like that,
Mhm.
which to me is I'm out on that. I'm not gonna be on board with that. But
Yeah, I'd rather have pickles.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So that's the thing. When I got it from
Where do you,
Kroll's,
this is not Wisconsin, but where do you land on deep fried pickles?
I tolerate them.
Okay.
For
I
me,
love deep fried pickles.
I don't hate pickles.
No, not pickles. Deep fried pickles.
Right. So I was saying I don't hate pickles in general, but
Okay.
I like pickles to complement something. So deep
Sure.
fried pickles to me aren't that great, just simply because there's nothing to complement it with, unless the sauce is really, really good. Like if there is a
You're a sauce guy.
yeah, sauce makes or breaks a lot of things. If there's a sweet
Sure.
slash spicy sauce to go with that tardiness of the pickle, then I'm okay with it. But just straight up with no sauce, no, don't like them.
When I go out to dinner with the family or whatever, they've got deep fried pickles on the menu. It's like, fuck, there goes $14.99 or whatever the hell the appetizer is. I'm like, because
Right.
Mrs. Horizon loves that shit.
Yeah. So where are you putting the Butterburger? You said you're not a fan of it. What category?
I am not a fan. All right, so we got cheese curds are S, brats are A. What else do we got on this list? Hold on, I got
Butterburgers, Kringle, and New Glarus.
Oh boy,
Or New Glarus, however you say it.
New Glarus.
Glarus, thank you. That's what I thought.
Butterburger, I would say is going to be C.
C. Okay, so you're with me on that
agree
one.
with you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Next one. This is going to be heavily dependent on you, sir, because this is the one of the 5 I have not had, and that is a Kringle. First of all, what are your thoughts on Kringles? And I assume you've had one before, yes?
It's a whatever. I do not. I have zero strong feelings about it. Like it's fine, sure, it's great, but like part of it is what kind of breakfast person are you? You know, are you a sweet? Are you savory? Yeah, like for like me, like I want bacon, I want eggs. That's my breakfast.
Yeah, you're a savory guy,
I don't
yeah.
care for a Kringle. I don't care for a coffee cake. I'm not see Baby Yoda. I hit it right there.
See, well, so are you?
This goes against all my.
So for those of you that don't know, Baby Yoda in chat just type donuts or bagels. It is a very, very heated debate that we have here on this channel.
Volatile topic.
It's very volatile. So Horizon, are you team bagel?
I don't wanna.
You're not doing well for your argument here.
All right. I am not. Well, okay, so like a donut to me is like almost like a guilty pleasure. Like, you know, like you feel a little bad eating it. But a donut but a bagel is in my opinion is so much more versatile. You can do so much more with it. You can have a hearty bagel, you can have a sweet bagel, you can have a bagel sandwich or whatever. I'm team donut just because it's naughty. Like it's like going, do you want Lucky Charms or do you want Raisin Bran? You fucking want Lucky Charms. Don't lie.
That's
all
a good
right.
point.
Like be honest. All right. So I'm team donut.
That's
I'm
a good
team
point.
donut.
Okay, good. So you are team donut, but you're not team Kringle. I'm
not team Kringle.
Yeah.
No.
So a Kringle, I feel like I might like the concept of it, but even then, so I've had things that are similar to a Kringle, because we'll do like it was always a family tradition to do I forget what they're called, but it was like a ring crescent thing, like a Kringle, basically.
Sure.
And I never ate it. Never ate them. Like I just didn't have any desire to have them. So I'm putting it in D tier because I've never had it. but also because I feel like I probably wouldn't really like it that much either, to be honest with you.
I know disagreements is what fuels these things, but I'm with you on that. I'm sorry. Yeah,
No.
I don't think there's anything you're not gonna have breakfast or have food here and like text somebody and be like, oh my god, you can't believe the crinkle I just had. It's not gonna happen. That's not happening.
Right.
No.
Okay, so that brings us to our final tier ranking topic or item, I guess I should say, and that is New Glarus, which is a brewery, to be clear for anybody that is unfamiliar, not a beer specifically. They have multiple different beers, but the brewery itself, and it is a Wisconsin only brewery. You cannot get this stuff outside of Wisconsin unless you take it with
Legally, you cannot.
Right.
Yeah.
Which every time I've been there, I have taken multiple cases home with me. I'll start
There's some fun.
I'll
There's
start.
some fun stories out there. There was a bar in New York.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Probably
this.
goes back like 15 years, probably.
Yeah.
It's been a while, maybe not quite that long, but there was a bar in New York that got in some pretty big trouble because they were selling New Glarus. They had somebody who went out and got it and they brought it back, Spotted Cow, and they were selling it, and it was insane. It was like $10 a bottle,
Yeah.
which is nuts. I mean, you could buy a 6-pack for $8.99 at any fucking gas station here in Wisconsin,
Right.
but they were selling it at $10 a bottle, and they got in some trouble. And it's always been a back and forth. You talked about your friend that lives Wisconsin, works in Minnesota. That border battle right there. It's always been a back and forth there too,
Yeah.
where they've gotten into some issues there too. So yeah.
Yeah, I believe it, man. So for me, I've had the Spotted Cow. I love the Spotted Cow. I'm an IPA person, and their IPAs are very good. I've had the Spotted Cow, and then they have another one that's really good. I forget what the name of it was.
Did you have the Moon Man?
Yes, that's what it was. It was Moon Man. It was
Yeah,
really,
Moon Man is their
really
big
good.
IPA. Yeah.
Yes, it was far and away my favorite beer that I had up there. Better than anything that I had in Michigan too. For me, it's A tier. I don't typically put like beverages this high in a tier ranking list, but it just makes everything. It's just better than everything else on this list, other than brats. I think brats take the cake, but man, a brat and a New Glarus beer can't top that. Easily A tier.
That's pretty fun. That's a great combination right there.
Yes.
I think for me, and so I enjoy New Glarus. I've actually toured the facilities actually for my bachelor party. That was the first stop when I got married. Was for my bachelor party. Was the first thing we did was we did the New Glarus brewery tour.
Oh, nice.
Which was. Maybe it's changed. It's been a few years. It was not great. It was self-guided, whatever. It was fine. There are better tours. If you're ever in Wisconsin and you want to do a fun tour, like Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think that was better. The Minhas Brewery tour is pretty cool too. That's in Monroe, Wisconsin. That's kind of neat too. But at any rate, the problem I've got with it, as I'm a beer lover, I love my beer. Spotted Cow became this thing. Like it became bigger than a beer. You know,
Yeah.
I can't really explain it. Like, and it's so like if you're not familiar, like New Glarus is not a big town. All right, New Glarus is like I don't even know, maybe 15,000 people. It's a small town. It's a small brewery. You know, it's family owned and operated. It's a neat story. But like people go nuts for New Glarus, like for Spotted Cow. They lose their minds. Now, me personally. Spotted Cow is not that great. It's fine. It's fine. But like in my my Rolodex of beers, it's not even in the top 10. Not even close.
Oh wow.
Now, that being said, there are other New Glarus brews that are in my top 10. Like they do a Staghorn Oktoberfest,
Okay.
which is one of the best beers I've ever had in my entire life. In fact, and I got to do research on this. I haven't seen it. They usually do a Cabin Fever, which is a honey bock, which comes out about this time, which is usually one of my favorites. I haven't seen it yet this year, and it's made me really sad. It's made me extremely sad. Like I'm like, it's spring. I should be drinking honey bock right now, and I can't find it anywhere. So I don't know if the Carries, which is the family that owns it, New Glarus, decided not to do it. But New Glarus is great. It is fantastic. It is a great business. It is a great small business in general. They do some really good stuff. I think Spotted Cow is overrated. If I'm going with our list right here, I would say it's got to be B.
Okay.
For me, because that's the one I got left. But I go B. It's fine. It is Spotted Cow is a very good beer. But it is not. I don't think it's as good as some people want it to be.
I get
Maybe
that.
that's just the alcoholic in me talking. But I've had better beers. But Spotted Cow is fine. But yeah, New Glarus is a solid organization.
I think the exclusivity plays a big part in that. Like Leinenkugels is obviously like the most popular probably from up in that area, but in my opinion, it's way worse.
Leinenkugels has changed, man.
Yes.
Leinenkugels, man, you changed, man. You ain't the same.
Mhm.
Leinenkugels is different.
Well, they got bought out,
They
right?
got bought out by they got bought out by Miller Coors.
Right.
They closed out the facilities that they used to brew at. Now it's done in big batch instead of small batch.
Yep.
It's just not quite the same.
Yeah. I toured the Leinenkugels brewery back when it was actually Leinenkugels. It was really cool.
Like in even this guy right here. So this is Capital. Capital Brewery, which is a little bit different too, but Capital is actually one of my favorites. They're Maibach, which is what I've got right there. But yeah, their Winter Skull, Capital's Winter Skull might be my personal all-time favorite beer.
Nice.
I would take a bath in that stuff.
Nice. I'm it's weird. I say I'm surprised, but I'm beginning to not become surprised because of all of the, so we've done 4 now tier rankings on this podcast. And typically when we've done podcast streams, for anybody that's unaware, it gets super contentious. Like, and a lot of times I have very different takes on the chat. But so far through 4 podcasts, we've been pretty much on the same page. Like, there might be one thing that we don't quite agree on, like in this case for us with cheese curds. But that's really it. Like, it's crazy how we're all kind of on the same page so far. I got to get some spicier tier rankings, man.
I think you do, yeah. I think I don't know. Maybe it's the and obviously you got a time frame and all that stuff. But yeah, you got to maybe if you had a few more items in there to compete with where you were at. But
yeah. Tis true.
Blue Moon is not great. I like Killian though. I do actually. I haven't had a Killian's in a long time, but Blue Moon's not my cup of beer.
Oh, of course.
But I do like Killian's Irish Red.
I was gonna say I was like Leinenkugel doesn't do Blue Moon, but yeah, of course does. That makes sense.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Smittix. I like Smittix too. That's good too.
That's a solid one. All right, man. That is our 5 topics here on the Shawk Tawk podcast. Horizon, thank you so much for being here this evening and chatting with us. I'm sure that people would like to know more about you and where to find you because you have been an absolute delight this evening. Where can they find you and how can they get more of you, sir?
You are a gentleman and a scholar, maybe more on the first than the latter, but
yeah.
You can find me on Twitch, Horizon 1100. I'm over there on Twitch streaming 3 or 4 nights a week, give or take. I do have, hold on. Can I, I don't know if I can find it. Hold on. Oh shit, I'm not prepared. God, I was going to throw the link to the to the bracket here. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Will it let me do it in your chat?
It might. It might not.
Right there. There. Click that link right there. The password is choo choo.
It did not work.
Click that link. That'll take you on over to where we're doing. I'm behind the 8 ball right now. IRL has just been kind of cooking me lately, but we are gonna go there. But click that link. That will take you over to looks like no.
Yeah, it's you can see it, but everybody else is blocked. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say.
If you put it on Discord,
I got nothing to say, I guess.
Put it on Discord in my Discord, and I'll add it in chat once we're done recording. So I can't get to it now because you're full screen. But once we're done recording, then I can post it up in chat.
Sure. I will go ahead and I'll just drop it in the Gen chat right there. But that's the link right there. That is the link to the March Madness bracket. We'll be raising funds again for. I think we're doing pancreatic cancer center. So the PanCan is what we're going to do this year. But yeah, we're going to be raising funds for that.
Or actually, try it now.
Join in.
Try it and
try
chat
it
now. I just made you a mod. Now you
Look at
should
that.
be able to do it
Shit,
now.
I gotta.
Yep, there you go.
There you go.
the easier
Click
way to
that
do
link
it.
right
Yeah.
there. I said I'm pretty sure the password is choo choo. Go ahead and join up. I'm going to be trying to push out some more information about that in the next couple of days here. But yeah, it's a $25 entry fee to the tournament. We're going to do 50% of the proceeds all go to pancreatic cancer research, 40% to the winner, and 10% to the runner-up. I think it is. So yeah, click on that link and help me raise some money for a good cause. And we'll be back. We'll be live next week, Thursday and Friday, streaming the games live on Twitch, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. So.
That's awesome, man. By the way, for anybody that is listening after the stream, I will make sure to have the Discord or the link that he's referring to posted in either the description or well, I guess it's the description either way, for either on YouTube or on Spotify, guys, or any of your preferred podcast listening platforms. So, but thank you, man, very much for having for being on the podcast tonight, sir. Guys, before we run the outro music here real quick, just a reminder that you can check this out on any podcast listening platform that you like. It's primarily Spotify, but it can be on anything, including Apple and all that jazz. Also, you can find it on YouTube at Shawk Tawk, and of course, we are here on Twitch at Shaka08. Horizon, any final parting words before we call it a night?
Love you, brother. I said it's. I miss seeing you live a little bit more. I know I didn't get to hang out as much as I would like to when you're live. You'd go live, and then I would go live like 20 minutes later and all that stuff. But you, genuinely, sir, you always put a smile on my face. So it is good to see you, and it's good to hang out, and it's good to chat, and it's good to see some friendly faces in the chat. And love you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Agreed, sir. Have a good night, everybody.
It's been fun.
We'll see you next time, all.
Welcome on in and take a seat. Conversations that can't be beat. Music and movies to name a few. Sports and drinks and tiramisu. This is a podcast for everyone. Time to chat and have some fun. Shawk Talk, Shawk Talk. Time to chat and have some fun. Shawk Talk, Shawk Talk. This is a podcast for everyone. Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk. Shawk Talk.